Hey friends, it is great to see you today on Read Through the Word. It is December the 29th. We just have a couple more days left before we turn our Bibles over and we start back at the very beginning. We have just this much left and then we're going to start all the way over. Hope that you are planning on joining us over in our new home over at wordupministries.org. Remember that we have launched our nonprofit and we are ready to experience all that God has for us, and we're really excited about that. And we want you to invite people to join us next year. It's not too late to sign up. You can sign up at the last minute. You could sign up at any time, actually, during the year. You can sign up at any time. So please invite people, share with people, tell people all about it. There is a graphic that's over on the Facebook page, and if I can remember, I'll go post it on our blog as well, so that you can share the good news about Read Through the Word and our upcoming course in 2020. All right, so we're looking at the beast today, and I told you from the very beginning where I land on this. I am a pre-tribber, and I believe in my heart, and just from my understanding of scriptures and from my many years of hearing messages taught on this, I believe, again, we don't all have to agree on this. So don't throw me under the bus, or don't write me any mean emails, please. But I'm a pre-tribber. I believe that we as Christians, the church, will be raptured, and that these are the last days for the last people remaining, the ones that have denied Christ, and He is patient and giving them more and more chances to see Him and His glory, and even make that decision to follow Him. But I want us to notice some key verses here, 3 different verses where John refers to the fact that the beast was allowed to do the things that he did. He was given permission, he was given authority. And we see here that the enemy, Satan, the devil, whatever you might want to call him, however you might want to refer to him, is incessant. He is relentless. His pursuit is very aggressive to keep his authority intact. And here's the thing, is that on this side of the tribulation, on this side of all of the revelation prophecy coming fulfilled, we have the same enemy that is incessant during these days. The same enemy is just as incessant and is just as relentless, pursuing us and trying to oppress us, as well as those that don't yet believe. In fact, in 2 Corinthians, I can't remember what's the reference it is, 2 Corinthians, where Paul says that the enemy has even blinded unbelievers from seeing the glory of God. So he is desperate to, he knows he's not going to win. He knows he doesn't have the power to win, and he knows he's not going to win, but he is going to try his hardest to make us think that he's going to win and that he's winning, but he's not. He's not going to. I've read the end, and I'm really excited to talk about the end, because I want to be there during that. I want to see it. I don't want to be there, but I want to see it. Maybe he'll let us see it. I don't know. There's so much we don't know. But this is where I want us to go with our lesson today. Jesus talks about the enemy being the prince of the world in John 12:31. Also in John 14:30, where he says, the ruler of this world is at hand. He's coming. He is referring to Judas Iscariot, who's coming to betray him there in the garden. It's the conversation that he's having with his disciples there in the Garden of Eden right before his crucifixion. He knows that the enemy of this world has gotten a hold of Judas, and that Judas is coming to betray him. But he refers to him as the ruler of this world. And he also in John says in 1 John 4:4, he talks about the power in us as believers is greater than the power that is in the world. And it's not specifically Satan there that he's referring to, according to the commentaries that I'm reading. He's talking about just the evil spiritual darkness of this world. There are forces of evil in this world. This is why we have what we have. This is why why there is so many troubles and trials and turmoil in this world, is because there is evil and it is rampant, and God has allowed Satan to have control over the world right now, but it's supervised control. Can I just say that? It's supervised control. God is ultimately in control. And he is sovereignly allowing things to happen and to the plan to be fulfilled through the prophecies of Revelation. All of that's going to be fulfilled. And we had this conversation, my husband and I had this conversation the other day, then why? What are we doing here then? I mean, what do we do? How do we combat the enemy? If the enemy is not the guy that's at work that is just so cruel, he's the face of the enemy where you work. But Satan is at work in the people at work. Satan, and I'm talking about unbelievers. Those that are not believers, Satan will. Because Satan cannot possess believers. But he certainly can look at our patterns of life and our behaviors and the things of our life and attack and send his angels, demons, I call them demons, minions, workers, whatever. He can send them to cause trouble and wreak havoc. For me personally, he attacks our computers at our house, anything having to do with technology, and our cars. Without a doubt. When something big happens in our family ministry, in a ministry wise, something's coming up. I mean, and just recently we've announced this whole word up and my son's truck broke down. I mean, it's comical, but it's not comical. It's irritating, but that's what he does. So he's got supervised control, supervised rulership, supervised authority. So how do we combat this? Because you know what? We can't take the guy out at work, or we can't take the girl out, that's just, we can't take them out. Because our war and our battle is not with them. It is with the spiritual darkness of this world. So how do we fight that? Well, I put a couple scriptures. Of course, I'm going to Ephesians 6:12. Just the whole chapter 6 where it talks about the armor of God. But 6:12 says this, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood." We are wrestling against the rulers and the authorities, against the cosmic powers over the present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. There are spiritual forces in the heavenly places, and that's what we battle. So how do we battle that? You go get Ephesians 6, and it tells you put on the armor of God, and that is how you battle. You battle with the sword of the Spirit. You battle with the shoes of readiness, with the belt of truth, the helmet of salvation, the shield of faith. You put on the armor of God, and that is how you battle. And you take it you get it on your knees. That's how we do it. We do it on our knees. And we call down heaven's armies to defend us. We call down heaven's armies to battle for us. That's how we do it. But personally, we need to make sure that we're submitting to God. James 4:7, make sure that you're submitting to God. And when you submit to God, you resist the devil. You can't submit to God and submitting to the devil at the same time. It's impossible. So when you're submitting to God, that's resisting the devil. And he will flee from you in that moment. He will flee. He has no power. He has no power. When we submit to God, we are resisting him and he has to flee. And then Peter tells us that we've got to be sober and mindful. That we have the devil that prowls around like a roaring lion seeking for someone to devour. He is always looking. He had the conversation with God back in Job. He's like, oh, I've just been going around, looking around, basically just seeing who I can take out, is what he's saying to Job. That's what he's doing. And we can't let him win in our personal life, and we can't let him win. We can't let him have victory in the lives of the people that we love, but we can't let him have victory in the lives of the church. We've got to battle on our knees. We've got to battle with the full armor of God, because we're not battling individuals. We're not battling the people that are different than us, because the enemy is blinding them. They can't see. They're not believers. They can't understand like we can understand. Those that don't have the Spirit can't understand spiritual things, Paul says. So we have got to pray against that with the Word of God on our knees. Praying the Word of God over the principalities and the evil of this world. That's how we battle it. And ultimately, God wins and Satan loses. That's the hope that we hang all of our troubles on, is ultimately we win and he loses in the end. Yes, we can resist the devil by submitting to God, putting on our full armor, and being sober, being watchful. Watch how these things happen. I didn't just wake up and know that, hey, my technology seems to be going out every time something happens. My phone dies, or I have to get a new computer, or I have to take my computer in, or especially my husband. It is. And we just started noticing a pattern. We're like, wait a minute. This is, no, he's not going to have victory. Oh yeah, the computer might go out or the car might break down, but I'm not giving in to that. I'm not giving into it. We'll fix it. He's not going to cause me any headache. No. We're just going to move right on along, fix the problem, and move right on along. So you be watchful of how these repetition and these same things that keep happening over and over again. I'm not saying they're all Satan, but chances are he's got his hand in it. I hate him. Yeah, I do. I hate him. I can be just as relentless as he can when it comes to protecting my children, my family, the church of God at large. We have got to be serious when we're battling the enemy, because he's serious when he's battling us. We'll see you tomorrow on Read Through the Word.